the breeze and let her on. Well, she's on, but her video, she's not in her video. But oh, well, that's someone else. But Qualitha is coming on. We had to configure our group settings. So that's why it took 21 minutes for us to get on. But we're here, just waiting for Qualitha. And today on our 10-minute talk with Bassa, we are talking about ways to save money. Isn't that right?
That's right. Ways to save money.
All right. So until Qualitha comes on, there's something pressing, of course, that we can talk about that's beautiful that happened today. There's a long time coming. Let's see.
I'm excited. I guess I shouldn't say excited. I am at peace with the verdict.
The verdict is in the officer in Minnesota who held his knee over George Floyd's neck for I don't know how many minutes. Long enough. Long enough to kill him, was actually found guilty on 3 counts. And the charges carry sentences of up to 40 years. So
40 years, 20 years, and 10 years.
Right. He hasn't been sentenced actually because he was just found guilty today. Once again, guilty on 3 charges. Those were manslaughter and some other charges. So he is going to go to jail. He was remanded back to jail today. And he is obviously not coming out. And if he gets the 40 years, even with reduced time, I don't know how old he is, but if he's like 50 or something, he probably won't be seeing
the light of day.
During his lifetime. Even if he does get, if he gets all those sentences carried concurrently, he may not actually get to see outside of those jail cell laws.
Yes, I am at peace with the decision. Do you think that this is a step forward to justice, I guess, in the system? A step forward for cops being held accountable?
People,
right, being held accountable.
I want to say how long have we been here on this in America? I don't know. Has it been over 600 years now?
Yeah, it's been.
Has 400 years. Like we used to say 400 years we suffered. But I mean, has it been 200 years since the 400 years? I think so. So, I mean, we as in Black people, have been suffering at the hands of injustices for as long as we've been here. And it's about time that something occurred today in the judicial system that changed the way that police reforming should be handled, that changed the way that we should actually look to carry out our grievances so we can actually effectuate change. So I'm pretty happy, but it's only one step on a long line of steps that we need to take. And a lot of action needs to happen before we truly are equal. Yes, there are equal rights, but we're not truly equal yet. Meaning we are not actually free just yet. We're not free to just be who we are, because it's 2021 and other people were still killed by officers in this year. Yeah, and it's only April. It's only the 4th month of the year.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it in our generation. Maybe the next or the next. Still being hopeful about that, I guess. Then we'll get started when Qualitha comes on.
Let's see if we're sharing this in the group. Because once again, we had technical difficulties, but we're here now. We're here. We're happy with the outcome of the officer who was charged and actually found guilty of murder. Manslaughter, but murder nonetheless. Yes, here we are. We're on. Okay. So, were we able to get Qualitha? So yes, we just wrapped up our conversation on the officer. What's his name?
David Chauvin.
We just wrapped up our conversation on just one part of justice being served. But we have a long way to go. Officer David Chauvin was found, whatever he is, he going to jail. Whatever he did, he intentionally did it, even though the intent element, it would have been hard to actually prove that. But he was charged with something, and that stands for something. So we're happy with that.
Yeah.
And bravo to the prosecution team. Bravo to the jurors of the Minnesota, what district was that? I don't know the exact district, but bravo to them. But it's the right thing. It was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Any other way would have been ridiculous.
Yeah, we know that we have children who are fatherless now because of the unfortunate circumstances. They won't ever see George Floyd again. So we can never really say it is, okay. You know what I mean? It's never okay. So you can never take back the life. So it's very unfortunate.
It was very unfortunate, but some justice was served for George Floyd and his family, and for all of us, all people across the world, whether you're Black or white. It's a matter of standing up for what's right. It's a matter of justice. And we all saw on video, was captured on video, how the killing occurred. So there's no other way that that outcome could have been correct if the outcome didn't happen the way it did today.
Very hard video to watch.
Yes. So, we don't know where Carlitha is, her whereabouts, but once again, our discussion is
ways to save money. How can you save money?
All right. So how do you save money?
Basically, I just get a certain percentage of my paycheck and I put it aside into my bank account. I try not to spend it. So about 20%. I think they said it should be the 10-20 rule.
Where you get that from?
I've gotten that before. My pastor actually. I've gotten it before. Save 20, spend 10. Or you can do the other way around, whichever one, but at least save a certain percentage of money each time you get paid.
Oh, okay. So yes, I actually have always saved at least $100 on my paycheck, and I get paid like as long as I've been working, I've been getting paid twice a month. So each year that my salary increases, I haven't actually increased the amount that I save, because once again, it's $100, but I have, my Nest pot. That's great. But I want to save more and I want to invest more. Mm-hmm. So what I've been doing is I still save that portion, but I invest a lot as well, and I flip it. Mm-hmm. It's not wrong with flipping, right? Unless you doing something illegal. Don't do nothing illegal. Just flip it in the right way, So I flip it and I save it, and then I flip it again and I flip some more and I earn more.
That's a lot of flips.
It's a lot of flips. Yeah. And what I also do is I also get interest-bearing accounts. All my accounts are interest-bearing, even my checking accounts. So hi,
how are you all?
Welcome. So, and wherever I work, I got a Roth IRA, and I was advised to do that too. So I flip it, I earn it, I interest it, and I invest it, and I do it all over again, and I don't touch my savings. I just don't touch my savings at all. I have not touched my savings for a long time. And it's just sitting there earning and burning a hole in my pocket. No, it's not burning a hole in my pocket because I don't need it. You got to build up enough to not even need to touch your savings. So one thing you got to do is have some kind of income. Obviously, you got to work. Yeah. So for younger people, because we all young, but for younger people, it's good to actually work. It's good to go to school and get your education, right? But if you're not doing none of that, you got to work to make the money.
You got to work to save.
So get you a job if you're not going to school or doing some kind of trade, whatever, because people say trades are good, whatever. But you gotta find a way to work to save money. That's the initial inquiry, whether you actually have money to save.
Mhm.
Where would it come from if you're not working?
Well, if you don't have any
Skills, maybe?
any residual income or anything coming in, then it'd be hard for you to save. You'll
Right.
just always want to spend what you have to get what you need. So in order to save, you definitely have to have some type of income coming in. Even if it's money that you're getting from a family member, if you're a very young person, like a teenager who can't work yet or something like that, save that also.
That's right. If you get an allowance, basically.
Right, an allowance or something like that. You save that, and then that can build up too and go from there.
Okay. And also remember, you got to have something to save. You can't just have nothing to save. You can't just save air. Like, even if you were just saving air, how would you do that? Would you put it in a can? That doesn't make sense, does it? Right? Right. So you got to have something to save, and it has to come from somewhere. You got to start with a job. And the jobs that we have are reliant on our skills. So we have to build up ourselves to have great skills to get great income, whether it be through entrepreneurship, through trade, or through our own professions that we seek in our careers. You got to have some money, and you want to be able to see that your earnings are increasing every year. Of course, like during COVID or during pandemics, there's going to be downturns, but you want to be able to see that your earnings, whether through your employment or through your own business, are actually increasing. So you got to evaluate that too. So you get to actually save. And remember, I said I haven't even changed the amount I have been saving as long as I have been saving, and my income has been increasing ever since I've been working every year. But because I've been earning and flipping and interest rating it and Roth IRA in it and stuff like that, I have the little nest egg that keeps expanding. All right.
That's some smart stuff right there. Those are good tips.
That's right. And Qualita,
you got to unmute yourself.
So yeah, go ahead, girl. How do you save?
Saving is important, even if you start with, because I started $5 savings. Savings, you can start with $1 if you have $1 to go ahead and save, or 50 cents. Just save that every 2 weeks. So what I've been doing for us three, I put aside $5 every 2 weeks. You might say, hey, that's nothing.
Who's us three?
Donald, myself, and Deja. So you might think that's nothing, but actually, if you put $5 aside every 2 weeks, that actually adds up if you don't touch it. So, you can save with as much as you have, even if it's 50 cents. Some people might be able to save $50 or $100 every 2 weeks, but save it and don't touch it.
That's key. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
It's kind of hard to, not touch it when you are in a bind. But even though in a bind, just make it act as though you don't even have it. You know what I mean? Just act as though you don't even have it. And then hopefully that will just encourage you not to touch it.
Now, what's good is to put it into accounts that, remember, bear interest. So that way your
like
money.
An ROA or a Roth or something like that. IRA or Roth or something like that.
Yeah, you said that twice. So your money is making money for you. And remember, you can earn it, yearn it, and flip it.
Now, Percival said it is 420, so I get the flip.
That's right. That's right. We do have our resident accountant, but she may not be available right now. She could have gave us some great tips on how to save and earn. And what's another way to earn? You all know, or save money?
You stomp me.
I don't know either. But I mean, it's like a similar concept to what Carlita said. I guess pulling resources together, and yeah,
you can get side jobs. That's another way of making some money. In addition to the money you have, or if you have a skill that you want, or if you have some type of skill, make that into a little small business. Or if you have things around your house you want to sell. make that into a little small business, sell it on eBay or whatever you want to do after you get your business together. And then that money, you save it,
Yeah.
rely on that money because that's your side hustle money. So
That's
another
right.
way.
That's right. Yep. You just put some money, or you just have a whole residual income where you're just saving and not touching that money. And that residual income can come from a side gig, just like she just said. And another thing you can do is set a goal maybe for yourself to save a certain amount per year, and struggle if you have to. Like struggle with your hair. Like maybe I don't need that extra barrette.
Well, that's a good one. Set a goal to have a certain amount. Because even if you get paid every 2 weeks and you say, I can't save this week, but you wait until 6 months down from the road because you still have that goal. So say if you have a goal to save $1,000 a year or whatever, and you say, I'm not going to, my very last paycheck at the end of the year, I'm not going to spend it. I'm just use it towards that goal that I set. So that's a good one too, because maybe you are, just don't want to save all at once. I mean, maybe you do want to save all at once and not save a little bit at a time. You want to do it all at once. So it is good to just set a goal.
Yeah, and you set the goal for many reasons. You set it because you're trying to obtain something personal, like a personal item, personal property, or a real property, or you're trying to obtain a gift for someone. But if you set an intention and a purpose, and you put that money aside for that reason, and you're actually moving towards that, that gives you more motivation to want to save. So our resident accountant is on. I was wondering if you could share tips for us on ways to save. And we're just waiting for her to come on up, but she can say it anytime she wants. So she is warming up to come on up and spiel on how to save some monies, because that's what accountants do. Or is that what they do, or do they count the money?
Hi. Okay.
Well, let's see, you're still muted. Let's ask to unmute you. Okay, please share.
Hi, how's everybody doing? First of all, I do believe in giving 10%. That's the first thing. Once you do that, you give to the Lord, then you save, and then you spend. Spend means giving to paying your bills. Now, I think your direct question was, how do you save? You can put it in a savings account at the bank. Learn how to invest your money. You just can't invest it now and put it anywhere. Learn how to invest. And then you may need a couple of type of account, savings account. One for a long-term purpose. You may have a spending account that you can, or savings account that you can put money into for Christmas presents. We all like to spend at Christmas, have a little extra money around the holidays. So you have a holiday savings account. Also, there are other ways besides investment. Get insurance accounts for long term. So those are some of the old ways that people used to save money. If there are some new ones, I hope someone can come online and say, I haven't learned any. Other than, like I said, you invest it into an account, learn how to invest, put it in the savings account, and you have thrift savings at your job. You always have to have a job. And I did hear someone say, you have to have money in order to save. And how are you going to get the money? You have to work for it. And not only do you have to work for it, you may have to prepare yourself educationally to make money. And that's no shame. Whatever you have to do to put yourself in a position to have income, and you save that income.
Very
right.
good. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Those were
thank
some
you.
very helpful tips.
What if you have more bills?
You also have to learn how to budget. Okay, that's one way people get into a financial bind because you haven't learned to budget the money that you have. Now, if you can't get an education better than what you're doing right now, learn to use the money that you do earn. Don't spend every time that you get paid. Learn how to budget that money. And those three things again: give 10%, um, save something out of that earnings, and then spend. And then you tell yourself, I'm going to put aside only $50. If I go to the store, I'm not going to spend or wish I had something or pay for something that's $60. Wait until you get the $60 and then spend it. Okay, if you don't have it, if you don't have the cash in hand, then maybe you don't need it. You have to learn too the difference between what is a need and what is a want. A lot of times we get in that situation of having more bills than we have income because we ended up buying things that we wanted, not what we need. So make sure you clear yourself, get what you need first, save, and then one day you can build up to getting a want.
That's right. And that goes along the line of actually living within your means. You can't live above your budget. You can't live above the income that you have. And you should actually live kind of way below that, way below your income, especially if you're not like a high earner. So remember to live within your means, live comfortably, but ways to actually save if you have more bills than budget is to scale back, to minimize, to reduce, downsize. Some of the, I mean, the necessary things in life are your housing, your food, and clothing, and internet. And for some like me, it's clothes, like cute clothes or travel, So you gotta know what things you need in life, what things are necessary for you, and live within that means, you know.
Okay.
So if you have a very expensive apartment or even a not so very expensive apartment, but you maybe are, you're running out of ways to, or you always have or don't have the money to pay your rent, like you
Right.
actually have to rationalize, like, why am I not able to pay my rent? At the end of the month, I'm always running out. Like you have to see, am I living above my means?
Okay.
So if you are just starting out saving, one thing to do is say, and you're having trouble managing your money financially, start saving at least for the necessities in life. Start doing that. Start there first. Say, hey, I know I need to pay my rent at the beginning of the month, so that's what I'm going to save first. And then you move on to saving just for fun, just for disposable things. So maybe plan like that.
All right, let's check out the comments. Akira said, great topic. Wanda said, give, save, then spend. Chris says, so save your side business money and live off your major job.
Yeah, I like that.
Wanda says, I believe in giving 10% to God. I do too. Christine says, how many accounts a person should have?
That's a good question. So I don't know what works for each person. It depends on what works for that person, but I think I have 4 or 5 accounts and 2 check-in or 3 check-in and like 3 different savings accounts. And you can spread those over, multiple different businesses. And one thing to do is check out, different banks. One thing to do is check out Black-owned banks too, because a lot of majority of banks are not Black-owned.
Right.
So check out the ones that are Black-owned. So spread your money and see what works for you. You know.
I think I have 4 accounts too.
Yeah.
Let me think of it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, another thing too, there's a lot of banks that I've seen that are offering an incentive. If you open up an account, you'll get
$200,
$400.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and
Now,
so just
is
save
that
that
a
money.
good
Yep.
move for people to do? Would you think? I mean, we're not experts in it. We're just talking about it.
Well, what?
But do you think that would be a good option? for
Yes,
somebody
yes,
to
but when you
start?
remember when opening bank accounts, remember the terms of the bank accounts. Like some
Right.
require you to get direct deposit every 2 weeks, some
Yeah,
require you to
Have a
have,
certain amount in there.
or you get
Right.
fined, penalized, $15. You know, our business account, we have to maintain a certain amount in there, or we are fined, what, $15 for every 3 months or something like that. And that
Mhm.
works for personal accounts too. And remember your overdraft fees, you can't just go spending. And know when you get these offers for credit cards, remember, know your budget. Once again, live within your means. So those credit cards, they can seem fun and dandy and take you all around the world, but you gotta pay it back.
Mhm.
You know?
Also, look at the rewards of banks. Some banks
Yeah.
give you cash back if you
Mhm.
spend a
Yeah.
certain amount of money. Some points, yep, some points give you points. So just look at the rewards also in banks.
Right.
Yeah, so definitely remember to check your terms on the bank accounts you're opening, because that can make or break you too. If you keep running out of money and you see that, oh, I keep getting charged for $15, or the
Mhm.
interest rate that I have to pay for a certain credit card is high, then
Right.
you know, you want to stay away from certain things like that.
I mean, it's also best too, once you get that credit card, to pay it off in full if you
Before
can.
you get the statement.
Yeah,
Right.
and credit is a whole nother thing. How to raise your credit score.
Yeah, it's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, we're not credit experts though.
No, but we just got good credit.
Because what I've also heard too is that if you get credit cards, if you get credit cards, what you should do is you should either use your credit card and save your money in the bank. Don't do both of them. Meaning that if your credit card is $300, if that's your limit, that's what you're living off of, because it's a what is that called? Cash back. You get the
Mhm.
cash back.
You get the cash
So
back. That's right.
you use that $300, but before you get the statement, you pay it off. And so you still have your money in your bank. So you don't use the $300 and what's in your bank, because that's going over. So it's
Right.
either or. That's what I heard, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And take advantage of things like the T-Mobile Tuesdays for the
Mhm.
gas rewards. I know I only get gas once I reload on my T-Mobile Tuesdays gas,
Mhm.
and I get to save 13 cents on gas. So
right.
yeah, and I'm thinking about getting an electric car too.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of states are actually banning gas cars.
Yeah, they will in 10 years.
Yeah, the selling of gas cars in certain states. I think Oregon is going to do it the soonest, and then California is actually,
Really?
California like proposed it first, but Oregon is coming in 2030. So
Oh, you know what else I heard too? Well, I didn't hear it. I also did it. Now, my bank is Chase. One of our banks is Chase
I
Bank.
love Chase.
So if you go into Chase Bank, they have cash back rewards
Yeah.
to go to different restaurants or gas stations. They do it
Exactly.
every month. So if you click on those, so every time you go to the bank, or not to the bank, to the gas station, or I did see Sunoco up there one time, and I saw Starbucks.
Mhm.
Just to
Mhm.
give an example, I saw those two businesses up there. So if I was to go to Starbucks or Sunoco, and whatever I spend, I would get a certain amount cash back.
Cash
But
back.
that's also in your bank. So make sure you look at that and click on those things. Those are extra, little perks for you.
That's
Get
Now,
right.
now some basic accounts that one can start off with. You get your usual savings account, your checking account. And like I said earlier, if you want to, you could also get a Christmas account. But before the Christmas account is set up, if you were at a job, because you have to set up an account somehow, you have to set something up so you can have retirement money. Okay, when you get older, you have to think about that. So if you don't have a retirement fund at your job, the bank also, and there are other institutions out here that could help you start a retirement fund. So the three basic ones would be a savings account, a checking account, and a retirement fund. After that, then you start thinking about, okay, maybe I'll have a Christmas fund holiday fund that you can just take. That's not within your savings, because once you put that money in your savings, you want to leave that in there. And then once it gets to a certain amount, you take it from your savings and you take some of that out of your savings and invest it. And like they've all said, you have to know which bank you're at. You don't want to have a lot of different bank accounts or institutional accounts, and then they're charging where you have to carry a certain limit in here, and then your money is just dwindling away because you're not familiar with those. Always know what you're handling. Always know who you're dealing with, which bank, and what they're offering you. And you plan for your future as far as your retirement. So again, those three basic ones would be a savings account, a checking account, and your retirement account. And after that, once you start talking about a fourth account or a fourth or fifth, then you're talking about just having an account besides your savings that you may just want to pull out money and for Christmas or for the holidays. You know how we love to spend for the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that's not your savings, and definitely not from your checkings. But also, again, the first thing you do, give your 10% to God, because he's the one that gives you the strength. It's in the Bible, it reads, it's God that gives man health to create wealth. So your health comes from God, and he will, with that health, cause you and help you, if you do the right thing, to get wealth.
Amen. That's right. And remember, things like Cash App and holding, I guess, transactional apps, those aren't savings accounts.
Right.
And they're susceptible to fraud, to those being wiped out. So your Cash Apps, you want to make sure you're moving that money. You're not just keeping it in there. And be aware of any fraudulent activity. Don't fall for email scams that wipe out your money or anything like that too.
And also, like I was saying, the side hustle jobs, there are ride share side hustle jobs. I know you have to make sure that your insurance is covered under that. But, those little side hustle jobs for ride share, or if you sell things, put that money aside somewhere. Put that money aside and just put that in an account and don't touch it. That way you can, every Tuesday or Thursday, you might say, hey, I'm going to do my little side hustle. That money adds up within a year. If you put $20, $40 a week times, do that math real quick. $40 a week times a whole year. Let's do that quickly.
While you're doing that
52.
math, Percival said, I'm sorry if I missed this. Is anyone baking black? Yeah, and we said you definitely should invest in Black-owned banks.
Right.
Do
Spread
your
your money there,
research,
too. Mhm.
spread your money, do your research, and invest in Black-owned banks. Definitely,
Yeah.
100%.
Did we get that hot number?
No, you were supposed to be doing the math as I was talking.
I do know 52 plus 52 is 104
52
times
times
2,
40, 2,080.
There you go.
Look at there.
1,080. There you go.
$2,080 for a whole year.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's like if you do a little side hustle, or just, your regular income, just put that $20 every Tuesday and Thursday aside, and there it is.
Yeah, and you remember one of the things that we said too was have a purpose. So one of the purposes is so you can one day not have to retire.
I have to retire.
I want to retire. I didn't know you didn't want to.
One day so you can retire,
Oh.
So and live off of your savings. And also you gotta remember too, you want to be able to live off of your residual income.
Mhm.
You want to be able to
Right.
say, I don't need this job anymore. I have money still coming in and I'm going to be living off that and be able to pass it down.
Mhm.
So you want to be able to have that nest egg, and you want to be able to not have to rely on sources of income that you may be terminated for. So,
Right.
or you may lose. So remember to have that nest egg. And that's why you ultimately save, but you also have your different reasons. But if remember what I said was if you have a reason to save, you're more likely to be motivated to save.
Right.
So your intent and action will maybe align with that if you have your,
Yeah.
your own reasons to
I'm
save.
sorry,
Right.
just a
All
little bit.
right, that completes our 10
I have my
minutes.
plate here. Becky,
Yeah.
I have my plate right here,
We are done.
right here.
That concludes our
10-minute talk with Bassa.
yeah.
You can join us
These 10-minute
again.
talks are so fun. You
You
never
can
know.
join us
what's
Thursday.
again Thursday for our next topic. We'll look in the group and see what's hot and what's getting a lot of buzz. And we'll post that on Thursday for Thursday's talk. Come back and join us. We appreciate everyone who's commented and watched. Till next time.
Well, Khalifa, we did just briefly discuss the conviction today. So that's what we were talking about
Oh,
before.
you did. I didn't
Just a
hear
little
it.
bit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just a little bit. And we said we just have a ways to go still. But this is one step.
Yes. You guys are lovely as always. Save, love, share, hug.
All right. So remember to build brilliant, build bold, and build a sister up, build a brother up. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.